kapag sinabi nating sex, hindi lang siya yung behavior. Hindi lang siya yung pagpasok ng ari sa isa't isa. It's not just the kissing. It's not just that. Sex is part of your core as a person. It means that it affects you, who you are. It affects how you relate to other people, to your partner. So sana makita ng mga tao na pag sinabi nating sex, hindi siya bastos. Kasama siya ng pagkatao mo. Hindi dapat natin siya tinitingnan, ay bastos yan, ay masama yan, ay puro kalibugan. Dahil parte siya ng pagkatao mo, kailangan mo siyang kilalanin, kailangan mo siyang matutunan. I think you have to befriend it and embrace it para mas maging disente kang tao sa sarili mo at sa iba.
In a society where conversations about sex are often avoided and misunderstood, our guest for today, dito po sa From the Heart, is changing that through science, empathy, and of course, education. And also using her platform para ipalaganap sa buong mundo na okay lang pag-usapan ang sex. She is a love and sex therapist and the founder of Unprude, a platform dedicated to building sexually respectful stories. I am so happy to have her here on From the Heart, Doc Rica Cruz.
Thank you, Chacha!
Thank you so much for being here.
Respectfully, societies.
Societies.
Yeah,
ayan.
sexually respectful societies. Yan.
Ayan. Medyo, alam mo kasi kinabahan ako dahil ikaw ang kaharap ko eh.
Ano ba? Bakit ka kakabahan? Parang araw-araw tayo nagkikita dati.
Oo nga, kasi we used to work po sa TV5 before, na meron din siya mga shows doon. I'm so glad that you're joining us today para pag-usapan itong hanggang ngayon taboo topic pa rin na mamaya pupuntahan natin. Pero siguro first and foremost, curious ako eh. Doc Rica, kailan nagsimula at paano nagsimula yung curiosity mo about sex and relationships?
Sasabihin ko sa'yo yung trigger kung bakit ako naging curious about sex and relationships. Kasal kasi ako noon sa una kong asawa. Tapos, mahilig ako sa sex eh. I love sex.
Okay.
And then there was a time that he wasn't having sex with me. So, ayaw niya makipag-sex sa akin. Eh, yun din yung time na nag-aaral ako ng MA in Counseling Psychology. So, sabi ko, ano ba ito nangyayari? Bakit ayaw niya sa akin? Eh, di ba ang ganda ko, ang sexy ko.
Naman.
Bata pa ako noon.
Maalindog.
Maalindog. So,
Oo.
parang, tas ang daming may gusto sa akin. So, ano ba ito? And because nag-aaral ako noon, sabi ko, pag-aralan ko nga, kailangan ba talaga ng sex in a marriage, in a relationship? So, yun yung nagbukas ng pinto for me to study sex. But in hindsight, while I was doing this, kasi para sa akin noon, sex research yung gusto ko, sex therapy yung gusto ko. Eh, dahil dun sa ginawa ko, para akong naitapon to the public.
Paano
Hindi-
naitapon to the public?
Gusto ko maging therapist.
Okay.
Ang therapist is a very private job.
Okay.
One-on-one.
Oo.
Diba?
Oo.
Hindi you go out there and talk to the public like this. But because of what I do, I started going on radio, going on TV, doing talks. So sabi ko, ano ba itong nangyayari? Is this really for me?
Oo.
And then, nung pinag-isipan ko siya, and through years of therapy, I realized that sex has been a very central part of my life, even as a child. I was molested when I was a child.
Okay.
Whatever that you can think of about sex, pinagdaanan ko siya until I got married. Any negative thing that you can think of,
Okay.
pinagdaanan ko siya. For me, I think part of making sense of everything that I went through as a child, as a teenager, ito yung culminating.
Okay.
To be a sex therapist and to educate people about sex. Pagka iniisip ko nga, natatawa ako kasi nung high school ako, pinag-uusapan namin mga kaibigan ko, I would ask them about their relationships or if they masturbate. Nung college
so even
ako,
student ka, ganun ka na, matanong ka na sa
ano na
classmates mo.
ako. Nung college ako, ang UP ako eh.
Oo.
Ang speech ko ng Com3 ay masturbation.
Okay.
Tapos namimigay ako ng condom from my car.
Alright.
Then meron akong sako-sakong condom sa
Saan galing?
Frenzy.
So binibigyan ka, pinamimigay mo sa classmates mo. And when you give out
Pinamimigay ko talaga.
condoms during that time, and when you talk about your friends and classmates about sex and ask them about sex stuff, na-offend ba sila? Paano conversation during? Hindi. Open-minded
Hindi.
sila.
Siyempre, mahihiya. at
Okay.
first. Pero
Oo.
dahil sabihin ko, kailangan mo yan. Nakikipag-sex ka, di ba? Pinag-uusapan natin to. During college, nagsisex na naman talaga
So,
yung mga
hindi
bata.
sila na-offend? Like,
Hindi.
it's okay to, dun sa mga classmates and friends mo sa UP that time to talk about
Oo.
it. So, that's the reason why you're so curious about, yun nga, sinasabi mo kanina about sex and relationships. I don't know if it's okay to talk about it. Nabanggit mo, you were molested when you were a kid. Pwede bang pag-usapan natin if okay lang, hindi, okay lang din sa akin? How young were you when you experienced that? Ano exactly yung nangyari?
Around 5 years old, yon. And then, ano yan stages iba-ibang tao, 'di ba? Tapos, I had my first sexual experience when I was 12 years old. And then, at 13, nalaman ng mga magulang ko.
Yung 12 years old with your boyfriend during that time? Okay, may boyfriend ka na. Yung time na yun, okay.
Naaalala ko noon was like, sabi niya, parang napanood niya sa porn. So, gawin namin mga ganyan. Tapos, 13 was yung first insertion. During that time, I didn't want to, but I was told na if you love me, kasi mas matanda na to, ibang boyfriend na to mas matanda na siya, mga 16 years old siya noon. Kung mahal mo ako, gagawin mo to. Tapos nagrebelde ako noon, naglayas-layas ako sa bahay and whatever. So nalaman ng mga magulang ko that something happened. When they found out, of course, they were mad.
Galit.
Right? Kasi honor student ako Ano na lang sasabihin mga tao, parang it's a shame. Kasi matalino ka pa naman. Yung ganon, which is a common narrative before. And then my mom, God bless her soul, and I love her, she had me pee on a pregnancy test just to be sure.
So, when they found out about you having sex at the age of 13, piniti ka. Negative naman.
Negative
And then afterwards,
naman.
anong ginawa ng parents?
At syempre, pinagalitan ako, grounded ako, bawal makita yung boyfriend. Na nalaman ko, oh my God, meron palang ibang girlfriend sa ibang school.
Hurt ka.
Hurt ako.
So, after that experience, first sexual experience na hindi maganda, parang natuto ka ba?
Syempre, hindi.
Hindi pa.
Hindi.
Go pa. Oo.
Go pa. So, nag-break kami. Nagkaroon ako ng another boyfriend who was very respectful naman and responsible. Dito ko naintindihan yung concept ng boundaries and respect. Kasi pinakita niya talaga sa akin na, I know you've done it before. We're still in high school and I want to respect where you are.
Wow.
Ganyan. Nag-break kami.
May nakilala ka na naman ulit.
Oo, kasi may nakilala ko. Kasi nag-break kami.
Ilang taong ka na nun?
17.
17 years old. So, mas may alam ka na nito about sex?
Ito na yung, dahil 4th year high school na ako, ang boyfriend ko na noon, college. So, ayan na.
Oh, ito na. Ratsyada
Ito
na to.
ratsyada na.
Kaputukan stage, ika nga.
Yes. Meron pa naman siyang apartment.
Na sa kanya lang. Oo. So, mas lagi nyo nagagawa.
Mas lagi, mas delikado, mas parang risky sexual behaviors.
During that time, pinipigilan ka pa rin ng parents mo. Although, alam nila na ginagawa mo, you were so open about it. Paano yung setup?
Siyempre, hindi nila alam. Siyempre,
Tinatago mo.
natatago ako. Pero
hindi
kasi,
nila alam na may boyfriend ka.
alam nila.
Okay.
I mean, mabait naman yung boyfriend ko during that
oo.
time with them. But, it was also a very tumultuous time in our family because my mom got sick. She got cancer. So, they were all focused on her. Ako, nagre-rebelde. Because I was really trying to make sense of everything that was going on for me. As a teenager, tas may sakit yung nanay ko.
Kumbaga physically, emotionally, nagde-develop ka rin tas kasabay nun, your mother is going through something. How did you find out about sex? Aside from meron kang experience, personal experience.
It's really more on what you see on TV.
Okay.
When I was 5 years old, I knew it felt good. Parang when I was touched as a 5-year-old, I knew it felt good. I could still remember it. It's very vivid. But I didn't know it was anything sexual. Right? Until parang at 12, at 13, when I was trying to figure things out. And it's very common I talk to a lot of people and a lot of women who feel that pagtanda na nila na-realize that what happened to them when they were
Hindi pala tama.
a child, hindi pala tama. Akala nila normal because it felt good.
Oo.
Diba? In the body, it felt good. But they didn't know that they were already being violated, they were already being used.
Kasi hindi naman natuturo talaga before kung anak, huwag ka mapapatouch dito. Ngayon na lang mas open yung parents, no?
Yes.
Tinuturo yan sa mga anak nila.
Okay ka lang ba?
No, kasi I was really shocked of kung ano man yung pinagdaanan mo and how strong you are right now
madami
with
pa
everything you
yun.
have been through.
Nagka-STI ako, na emergency surgery ako because of a sexually transmitted infection at parang I think 18, 19, alam mo yung mga nakukuha sa Quiapo, nagawa ko yun.
So lahat ng pinagdaanan mong ito ang reason why you are an advocate of sex education here in the Philippines.
I can say that proudly na my whole point of doing this for me was when she was 5 years old, my daughter, when I started talking about sex.
Yeah.
When I was given a chance to do sex research, to do radio with Boys Night Out, 5, 6, 7 siya nun eh. And then I realized, ginagawa ko to because I don't want her to go through what I went through. So she gave me that fuel. When I saw her barkada, mga bata rin na 5 years old, 6, sabi ko, hindi talaga to pwede. Something needs to change. And I have the power
To
at
change
that
it.
time to change it.
Something needs to be changed. Before, taboo topic ang sex dito sa Pilipinas. In a conservative country, ngayon ba may pagbabago na? Kasi nga sabi mo, something needs to be changed. Ngayon ba na mas open-minded na ba ang tao pag-usapan yung sex or nandun pa rin tayo sa kung paano tayo before?
As a society, ano pa rin tayo? Parang
Ilang pa rin.
ilang pa rin, conservative pa rin. But if you are going into the parang families, dito ako tuwang-tuwa. Kasi nung nag-start ako to talk about sex publicly, I was like berated, bashed. Pero meron din mga curious, ganyan. Pero ngayon nakikita ko na even parents are advocating for sex. They want to learn more, to teach their kids.
So may nabago na.
Merong nabago na.
Pero kulang pa.
Madami pang kailangan gawin.
Ano pang kailangan gawin? Para mas maging open natin ito pag-usapan na pag nabanggit yung salitang sex, hindi nangingimi or hindi na o-offend or hindi nahihiya yung iba.
I would really say there needs to be more education, not just in schools, but inside homes. Nung nagsimula akong magturo ng sex ed sa isang institusyon dito sa Pilipinas, ang una kong homework dun sa mga bata is go home, ask your parents, or if you're adopted or anyone like a guardian, how you were conceived.
Ilang taon to mga tinuturuan mo?
College
College
sa mga
na.
17.
So, kamusta ang assignment nila sa'yo?
Doon ko nakita kasi may mga bumalik, di ba? Na may kwento sila. My parents were open, blah, blah, blah. Meron ding bumalik na, my parents didn't want to talk about it.
So,
or
ano yung mas marami? Majority wanted to talk about it or mas hindi pa rin?
mas yung hindi. Pero this was like before the pandemic.
Okay.
So sabi ko, okay, this is my chance to teach the parents kasi kahit naturuan ko yung mga bata, kahit na ilang auditorium ako ng 16, 17 years old, pag umuwi sila sa bahay, tapos hindi open yung mga magulang nila to talk about it or to guide them, walang mangyayari.
Yeah.
Mas magiging conflicted sila.
Tama.
So, from then on, I targeted really the parents.
Okay.
My co-parents in
Yeah.
Raya,
Oo.
other parents na dun kung saan ako nagtuturo. Mas ganon. And then my talks talagang for parents.
Okay. Anong difference kapag sa bahay openly na pag-uusapan nyo about sex education compared to bawal natin pag-usapan yan?
Doon muna tayo sa bawal.
Okay.
Yung mga magulang na nahihirapan sila to talk to their children about sex when it's shamed and it's silenced. Meron mga studies na sinasabing they're more prone to risky sexual behaviors.
Mas nabubuntis
So,
na maaga.
mas nabubuntis, mas nagkakasakit, mas
Oo.
nagiging sexually promiscuous na because they don't know how to protect themselves and they don't know how to be responsible with their own bodies. Tapos meron ding mga bata na higher yung risk of suicidal ideations, of self-harm. Kasi hindi nila ma-express yung gusto nilang itanong. So feeling nila, when you're shushed, right? May boyfriend ako. Bawal ka
Shut down
mag-boyfriend.
agad. Oo.
So they feel that they're not being understood. And walang space for them to talk to their parents about it. During that time, at 15, 16, 17, during that time that they need that emotional connection and guidance about relationships from their parents. It's also that time that they feel all these hormones, yung
changes in their body.
So what happens? They look for that kind of love and affection from another. Kaya yung minsan nagbo-boyfriend,
or
nakikipag-sex.
nagbabarkada.
Barkada. Pero kasi dahil the love and affection of your parents, iba siya from love and affection of friends eh. So, mas hinahanap nila yon dun sa mga significant others,
Romantic partner.
romantic relationship.
Oo.
Sin na, ang sinasabi nila dahil mahal nila yung partner nila, diba? I love him or I love her. Sex becomes okay for them. Hindi na siya yung parang sinasabi ng mga magulang na bawal mo yung gawin, baka mabuntis ka. Hindi. Nagiging siyang expression of love. Ganun nila nire-reframe yon.
So sa madaling salita, mas nagiging mapusok.
Nagiging mapusok nang hindi pinag-iisipan kung ano yung ginagawa.
Kasi naririnig ko na yan before na parang kapag daw mas hinihigpitan mo yung bata, mas nagre-rebelde.
Yes.
So ganun yung nangyayari.
Ganun din yung nangyari sa akin eh.
Actually, ako din. Kasi sobrang higpit ng nanay ko. I
Ano
got
nangyari
pregnant at
sa'yo?
21 years old. Medyo ganun nga din. Kasi lagi ako pinipigilan. Whereas yung kapatid ko, mas maluwag na siya. Mas late nag-asawa.
That is the effect naman of having open, comprehensive sex education at home and in schools. Merong delayed sexual initiation, meaning yung first sexual intercourse, delayed siya. So mas tumatanda. Hindi katulad nung sinasabi nila na kapag may sex ed ka, you're encouraging kids to have sex. No. Actually, na-delay. Yun
Mas
yung-
dinedelay pa kasi alam nila yung effect.
Alam nila yung effect, alam nila yung consequences, alam nila yung kung ano yung gusto nilang mangyari sa kanila. Parang mas naiintindihan nila. So, hindi sila magiging curious na, try natin.
Tatry ko to.
Oo.
Kasi na-explain sa kanila ng maayos.
Ano
Okay.
pa? Nagiging reduced risk-taking. So, responsible sila na they use contraceptives, they protect themselves, or they know how to say no. And then, decreased number of sexual partners. Instead of being sexually promiscuous like what I did, diba? Na hinahanap ko yung love wherever, nag-experiment ako wherever, dahil nga mas naiintindihan nila, mas nadi-decrease din yung sexual partners nila. Kung gusto nila na isa lang dapat, diba, during marriage, mas na-achieve yung goal na yun. Kapag openly ka
Napag-uusapan
nakikipag-usap
ito.
about sex.
You said in one of your posts na open sex education with strong values doesn't destroy children. Paano mo i-explain yan? Doon hanggang ngayon sarado pa rin yung mga utak na hindi eh. Pag maaga mo minulat yung mga bata about sex, baka ano pa mangyari? Baka ikaw pa yung magdala sa kanila sa hindi maganda.
I'm a scientist eh.
Yeah.
Diba? I have a PhD. Hindi siya basta-basta. And we've seen it over and over and over again in societies where sex is talked about properly. The teens are more open and they're more communicative with their parents. What I'm saying is that you talk about sex, I'm not saying na sabihin mo sa kanila that they can have sex. If your values is still okay, this is sex, this is contraception, this is sexually transmitted infections, this is how a healthy relationship looks like. But I want you to know this because I want you at that time, kapag pwede na, pag nakakapag-isip ka na, pag adult ka na, pag ready ka na, meron kang toolkit. But our values are saying na you will only have sexual intercourse kapag kasal ka na.
Yan
You
ang
can
proper.
say that eh.
Oo.
You can say that. I mean, I don't understand why people are saying na hindi, abstinence only. Hindi ka pwede makipag-sex. So, mas nagiging, yung mga bata, ano ba to? Anong abstinence only? And then, mas magigilty sila kapag may na-feel sila. So much so na, dala nila yon hanggang pagtanda nila. Kasi, iniisip nila na, ay, hindi ako pwede makipag-sex kasi magiging, patapon ng babae or ang puri ko mawawala. Once they get married, it becomes a problem. Kasi, ang expectation is, may switch. Parang mag-I do ka lang, kailangan marunong ka ng bumuhaha.
Okay.
If 35 years of your life, you were taught na hindi pwede yan, masama yan, wag natin pag-usapan yan. Tapos, ang expectation sa kanya ng asawa niya, ay ito, pwede na, kasal na tayo. Kailangan, alam mo na yan, kailangan magaling ka na dyan, kailangan hindi ka masaktan. Paano na tayo,
Nagkakaproblema
ate?
doon.
Oo.
Oo. Okay lang pag-usapan ng sex, basta proper talk. How do we talk about with our kids about this topic? Paano natin to sisimulan?
Alam mo, doon sa mga may anak na bata pa, I always say that sex education starts when education starts. A big misconception kasi when it comes to sex education, kaya nga sinasabi namin, sex and relationships education, comprehensive sex education. Nisip kasi ng mga tao, because of the word sex, that it's really just about teaching them masturbation, teaching them intercourse. But no, you start with them knowing their bodies,
Okay.
diba? Tapos kasabay nun is, tuturuan mo sila kung sino lang pwedeng humawak ng katawan nila. That's already consent and boundaries. When someone touches you here, dapat si mommy and si daddy lang o kung sino, ganyan.
Kung magtanong yung bata na, bakit mommy and daddy? Bakit mommy
Because
and
it's
daddy
a
lang?
private part, it's
Okay,
just
okay.
yours. No one else should touch it.
Ang ano natin dito, dapat is, kung ano yung body parts, kung ano yung tawag doon, yun
Yun
talaga
ang
dapat ang
sasabihin.
ituturo sa bata.
Oo. So
Oo.
kapag may humawak ng titi mo, 'di ba? Sabihin mo agad sa amin. If you feel na merong humawak sa na hindi ka komportable,
Oo.
you felt unsafe, sabihin mo agad. That is part of sex education.
Oo. At dapat na ituturo as young as 3 or 5 years
Kasi
old.
ilang taon ba namumolest siya? 4, 5?
Yeah.
There are infants
Totoo yan.
na nare-rape. I'm sorry, it
Totoo po yan.
happens.
Totoo po yan. Sexual predators are everywhere.
Mm-mm.
And sometimes baka nasa loob ng bahay natin, kasama natin, hindi natin
Most
alam.
of the time, nasa loob siya ng bahay natin.
Na hindi alam nung bata na hindi pala tama yung ginagawa.
Ginagawa
Pero
sa
dahil hindi na
kanya.
ituro sa kanya, kaya hindi nakakapagsumbong. Or sometimes yung takot nga. After body parts at pagtuturo ng ito yung mga bawal na i-touch, private part yan, kung meron mang gawin sa'yo, susumbong mo sa amin, what's next?
The family.
Okay.
What does love look like in the family? Kasama yan sa sex education. Kasi
Paano?
relationships. So, paano? This is your mommy, this is your daddy. Yung pagmamahal niyo sa isa't isa bilang parents, nakikita niya yun eh.
Yeah.
Bata pa lang nakikita niya yun. Nagsisigawan ba kayo? Pag nagsisigawan kayo, makukuha niya yun. Maninigaw
Absorb
din
niya
siya.
to-
Ay, ganyan. This is how you treat your siblings. Merong mga different kinds of families. Siguro yung kaklase mo, dalawa yung daddy niya. Okay lang yon. And then, you tell them about your values.
Okay.
As a child, is it sharing? Mag-share ka ba ng parang pagkain mo? Sex education din yun kasi relationship siya talaga.
Oo.
And then, magtatanong sila bakit ikaw may titi? Bakit si mommy may pepe? Explain mo na sa kanila yon.
Sinasabi nga nila, teenager daw yung pinakamasakit sa ulo ng mga magulang, hindi daw talaga toddler. Paano kung may mga lumiligaw-ligaw na sa mga anak natin or nagsabi na may boyfriend? How do we educate them about sex?
Kaya ako sinasabi na kailangan na bata pa lang. Kasi by age 5, 6, di ba magsasabi na yan na may crush sila? Ang nangyari sa atin nung panahon natin ay may crush ka, hindi, bata ka pa. Pero kung iintindihin mo kung bakit sila nagkaka-crush, usually it's just about fascination about the other person, admiration about the other person. You're giving them the space to tell you about attraction, ano yung ginugusto nila sa ibang tao. So yan yung 5, 6, 7. The 8, mag-ano yan they will start having friends.
Yeah.
And then you talk to them about their friends.
Okay.
So much so na kapag 10, 11, 12, nagkaka-crush na talaga, may nanliligaw na,
Oo.
mapoproseso mo siya as the same way na naproseso mo nung may crush sila.
Paano magkaroon ng ganon na relationship with all of our kids?
I think it's just being curious about what they're going through and not shaming
Or not
them
shutting them down.
or judging them with what they're telling you. The moment kasi that you judge them, matatakot na sila sa'yo. Kunyari makakita ka ng porn sa cellphone. Nakita mo may porn. Usually ano yan? 9 years old. Pag pinagalitan mo sila, ano yan? Kabata-bata mo. Magtatago na yun.
Sa mga parents na nanonood ngayon, pag nakita nila anak nila babae or lalaki na nanonood ng porn or nagmamasturbate, paanong approach na gagawin ng mga magulang?
Well, sinasabi ko nun kapag, kunyari, you walked in on your child, sara mo ulit yung pinto.
Para alam niya may
Diba?
privacy siya.
Oo,
And then
parang-
afterwards, nakakausapin.
Afterwards, sabihin mo, tanungin mo, if you're curious, what were you doing? The next time that you do it, make sure that the door's locked. Para hindi ka papasukin, make sure that it's just in private. If it's not part of your values, you say, okay, hindi pwede yan, bawal yan. Kasi ganito. Then you explain. And even kids na, di ba, yung 3 years old, 4 years old, nagtatouch na yan ng genital region. Hindi yan masturbation in a sexual way,
Okay.
It's just, alam mo, pag makati kakamutin mo, it's the same reflex and reaction na for them, because masarap, so dapat i-address mo yon na, okay, why are you, bakit mo
Doing it.
kinikis-kis? Okay, because it feels like this, it feels, for them, pagka stressed sila, yun yung ginagawa nila, nakakawala ng stress. Hindi siya sexual at all. So, you tell them that, okay, this isn't supposed to be done in public. Hindi ka dapat kumikis-kis sa mga friends mo or sa mga table, ganyan. But you explain it to them properly.
Oo.
Hindi yung, bastos ka.
Kumbaga, yung pattern na nakikita natin is every time makikita natin yung anak natin doing that or doing something na may kaugnayan sa mga genital parts nila, hindi dapat agad bawal yan.
Yes, because that's where shame starts. So the moment you shame what they're doing with their bodies, they will also feel shameful about their bodies. So much so that pagtanda nila, mahihirapan na sila to own their bodies, to own their pleasure, to feel good about themselves. Nagpapatong-patong yun.
Anong difference ng mga bata ngayon sa bata noon? Base sa mga pag-aaral nyo, mas madali bang turuan about sex education ng mga bata ngayon because social media is already there, or mas challenging ito for us parents?
Para sa akin depende rin kasi talaga sa magulang yan. Doon sa mga nakakahalubilo ko, they're very understanding about consent, about boundaries. They don't push each other to hug each other. Alam mo yung kasi may mga magulang na, hindi, hug mo yan, tito mo yan o i-kiss mo yan, tito mo yan. Hindi. Meron na tayong ganong klaseng concept na hindi dapat pinipilit yung mga bata.
Aware na rin ang mga magulang.
So kapag ganun yung magulang, mas naiintindihan ng bata. Pero kung hindi pa ganun yung mga magulang, mas mahirap i-explain dun sa bata. Kasi ang nakikita nga nila yun sa social media, iba na yun Parang misinformation na lahat
Ibang animal yun. Gaano katindi ang misinformation about sex education online? Ano yung pinakamalala na nakita mo? Na napailing ka na lang talaga?
Yun kasi naging double-edged sword ang being open about sex, no? A lot of people think that when you talk about it, okay na yun, it's sex education. Pero hindi. Like I told you, there's a proper way to do it. But because social media now is for clout, diba? It's being monetized. So whatever they say, pinaniniwalaan ng mga tao kahit hindi naman talaga siya scientifically accurate or culturally grounded. May mga ganyan.
Talking about sex sa iyong teenager na anak na may partner na, meron bang hindi pwede pag-usapan, or kapag once na simulan nyo na yung topic na yun, anything goes?
Pag nasimulan mo na yung topic, kailangan ready ka.
So lahat ng tanong niya, sasagutin mo.
Kailangan ready ka to talk about sexually transmitted infections, to
Dapat
talk
alam mo na
about
rin yun.
condoms, to talk about the first time, how would it feel like? Diba? And how do you want her to experience it for you? Kasi parang ako, my first time was, for sure, I didn't feel anything aside from pain.
It's the same. Pain lang. I think pain ang lahat na
discomfort,
yes.
right? When I talked to her about it, I was like, I hope you know that your first time is your first time. Meaning, babalikan mo yung memory na yon at sana masaya yung memory na yon. Hindi dapat yung partner mo lang yung nasiyahan. Diba? Diba?
Nakakatuwa dito kasi yung anak niya. How young is your kid? 17? 15 years old. May boyfriend na si baby girl?
Kaka-break lang.
So, paano niyo pinag-uusapan? Ano yung, kung meron man siya mga questions sa'yo about sex, yung pinakamahirap na nasagutin ka?
Ang pinakamahirap sa akin was like, so we were talking and then sabi niya sa akin, Mama, I think I'll have my first sexual experience when I'm 27. And I was like, wag naman, girl.
Sana all. Sana all. Why? Did you ask why?
Kasi she wants to be like old enough, parang established, ganyan.
Galing. So this is the product of you talking about sex as early as 5 to your kid. Gusto niya 27 na niya ma-experience.
Pero ako yung nagpanic.
Ikaw yung nagpanic?
Ako yung nagpanic. Bakit ako nagpanic?
Na parang feeling mo too late na. Is there a perfect age for women or men kung kailan talaga dapat first time ma-experience ng sexual intercourse?
Sabi ko, pag first sexual intercourse, 19.
19 talaga. Okay.
Tanong
Bakit?
mo-
Anong meron sa edad 19?
Kasi naintindihan mo na. It's really up to them.
Okay.
It's
Walang certain age. Walang nakalagay by the book na okay, dapat 21
I mean, legally,
or 22.
diba? Legally, ang age of consent natin ay 16. Pero if she starts having sexual relationships in college, like 19, 20, I would understand. Kasi yun naman talaga yung time of exploration. At 27, kaya medyo, wag naman, girl. Kasi by that time, ano ka na parang...
Pa-settling age na yun.
Pa-settling age
Although
ka
late
na.
sila nagsisettle na yun, no?
Oo.
35 yung iba kinakasal, sometimes 38.
Alam mo kung bakit ko sinabi yun? Kasi I get to talk to a lot of women now, middle-aged women,
Okay.
who's only had one sexual relationship their whole life. One of the things that they tell me is that I don't have a comparison. Is this it? Lalo na kung hindi sila nasasarapan. So parang, am I too late to explore? Syempre, kasi may asawa ka na, girl.
Oh my gosh. So what do you advise for those women or men who are in that position?
But I'm not saying that you should. I mean, I'm just,
Pero may solusyon doon? Kung yun ang problema ng partners na nakikinig sa atin ngayon.
it's really exploration within themselves and their partner. So, i-ano natin, parang gagawin natin mas exciting yung
Okay.
sexual relationship. Kasi yung mga babae may sexual reawakening yan midlife eh. Lalo na after menopause Kasi parang internally, hindi ka na mabubuntis.
Oo.
So,
Mas ano ka,
malaki na
ratsyada.
yung mga anak mo.
Oo.
Wala ka ng Kaya ako siya tinatawag na sexual reawakening. Because that's my dissertation, sexual pleasure for the Filipino woman.
Okay.
Kasi sinasabi nila na yung pinagdaanan mo, perimenopause, menopause, mahirap siya. Para siyang nakakabaliw siya.
Nakakabaliw
But
siya.
the moment you get out of it, ibang babae ka na. so
Reborn
parang,
ka.
so parang, ganda ko na ulit. Tapos yung libido mo, parang
Iba din,
mas confident
bumabalik.
ka na.
Anong age to?
Mga 50.
50s and up. And then for men,
Oo.
meron din ganon?
With men kasi, around 50, yun na yung may diabetes na sila, may heart problem na sila, so nahihirapan na sila tayuan. That's why these supplements are doing
Para
very
big
well.
help. Oo.
Oo, para silang
Yung mga naririnig natin,
billion-
tongkat-tongkat ali. Yung mga ganon.
grabe yung sales nila. Kasi naghahanap na yung mga lalaki ngayon ng tulong. When in fact, for them to be able to get it up until their 50s, dapat mga 30, 40 pa lang, maayos na sila sa katawan nila and their health. Kaya nagkakaroon ng conflict, ng disconnect.
Oo, kasi yung babae, mas sumihilig, tapos yung lalaki nahihirapan na sila.
Tapos kapag nahihirapan sila to up their game, isipin nila, may mali ba sa akin? Hanap ako ng iba. Tatayuan ba ako kapag punta ako sa spakol? Tatayuan ba ako pagka mas bata
Kaya
akong kabit?
nag-explore sila. Pero meron bang edad na talagang ang lalaki or babae hanggang dito lang ang edad na pwede kayo mag-sex? Or hindi, hanggang 100 pwede?
Hindi.
Meron?
Meron akong kliyente noon, nag-aral ako sa ibang bansa, Ano siya, byuda. 75, 76,
Okay.
ganyan. Tapos isang beses, tuwang-tuwa siya. Sabi niya, I just experienced my first orgasm at 76 and you didn't tell me this is what I've been missing my whole life. Kasi nagkaroon siya ng bagong boyfriend.
And for her entire life, no, 76 lang niya na-experience. And most of the girls are like that. Na nasa relationship ng matagal pero hindi alam kung ano talaga yung feeling ng orgasm.
Oo, nakakatawa nga kasi parang a couple of weeks ago, nagbigay ako ng talk for UN International Women's Day. And then most of the audience are high school students. So ang una kong tanong sa kanila, do you know what an orgasm feels like? So syempre yung mga lalaki, yes! Sabi ko, yung mga babae, yes. Tapos sabi ko, sinong may alam? Tapos merong one brave soul, parang grade 11 siya. Tayo siya. Sabi ko, sige, pwede mo bang i-explain dun sa ibang mga babae dito how an orgasm feels like? And she did. She was like, parang kinakabahan pero down there, which is the contractions, tapos shortness of breath, feeling mo merong release yung body mo. Nung sinabi niya yun, all the girls were like, so ganun yung feeling. And
Hindi nila alam.
I applaud her because she saved so many of those girls from bad sex their whole lives.
Bakit ang dami-daming babae nagpe-fake orgasm and bakit ang tagal natin labasan?
Diba? The penis, yung tite. Kapag kinumpara mo siya sa katawan ng babae, yung pinanggalingan nila ng clitoris, iisa lang. Nabuo ka
Oo.
as an egg.
Oo.
Kapag nagde-differentiate yung katawan mo, isa lang yung pinanggalingan ng magbubuo ng penis sa mga lalaki at saka ng clitoris.
Oo.
Right? So, the penis is the one for pleasure.
Okay.
Yun yung gagalawin mo, mag-ejaculate ka. Para sa mga babae, it's the clitoris.
It's the clit.
Iniisip ng mga tao na matagal na panahon, inisip nila na it's through intercourse that women will orgasm.
Hindi.
But no.
Okay.
I actually tell women, sabi yung mga nag-first time na kinakausap ko, bakit hindi siya masarap? Hindi naman kasi talaga siya masarap. Kailangan samahan mo siya ng clitoral stimulation. And yung clitoral stimulation, ano ba yung clitoris, right? It's a big organ na ang nakikita mo lang sa labas is the tip. Yung parang peanut na mani.
Mani.
Oo. Yun yung external clitoral area. Yun yung external
Yun ang kailangan
clitoris.
i-touch.
Yun yung kailangan i-touch.
Oo.
Ngayon, sa baba nun, internal, matatouch mo siya through yung tinatawag nilang G-spot. Hindi talaga siya G-spot. It's the internal.
And through the sundot yon.
Oo,
Okay.
clitoris.
Oo.
Kaya, yung mga babae, their most optimal pleasure for them when they orgasm is, ito just for the body, physiological lang is when someone goes down on them kasi merong stimulation yung clitoris sa ilalim.
Okay.
Tapos merong insertion doon sa vagina dahil nasi-stimulate yung clitoris sa loob.
So para mas mabilis, dapat sabay siyang ginagawa.
Mas masarap.
Oh. Okay. So kung may nakikinig sa atin ngayon who are married, who are in a relationship and they feel like ngayon, oh my gosh, hindi nga ako nag-orgasm kasi hindi yun yung ginagawa namin. For the longest time, intercourse lang. Sundot lang ito. So how to tell their partners na narinig ko kay Doc Rica, eto pala, nasa clit pala ang sagot sa pinnacle of success. Paano nila i-open yung topic na yon?
Bumili kayo ng Unprude Play Gel.
Yan! may dun sa Unprude website, meron.
Sa Lazada, sa TikTok, sa Shopee.
Kahit nawiwet ka ng sobra. I mean, anong importance ng gel?
The Unprude Play Gel, it stimulates the clitoris. We also have edible ones na may chocolate, may...
So, ang gagawin mo, bilan mo na lang. Tapos sasabihin mo yung partner mo, gagamitin natin to. Paano mo yung open tong conversation na to sa partner mo, sa asawa mo? Lalo pa kung di naman kayo sanay na pinag-uusapan ito.
Yan yung sinasabi ko sa yung you're teaching your child to advocate for herself, diba?
Kung alam niya na yung bata pa siya. Oo.
Pero dun sa mga lalaki na walang pakialam, kailangan matapos lang kayo. Grabe naman, selfish nyo
Sobra, no?
Oo. Nagkakaroon ng problema yan in a relationship.
In the long run.
In the long run. Mafe-feel ng babae na parang walang connection, walang kwenta, may resentment na nangyayari, ganon. So paano nyo pag-uusapan? No, meron ka ng Unprude Play Gel. Sabi mo sa asawa mo, gamitin mo naman to sa akin mamaya.
Doc Rica, hanggang ngayon, meron pa rin mga super conservative, hindi talaga sanay gumamit ng mga gadgets, ng mga gel-gel na ganyan. What's your advice for them?
Well, you look at it kasi minsan, iniisip nila na itong mga gadgets na to, mga tools, diba, is a replacement. So, minsan natatakot sila, bakit kailangan pa natin yan? Pwede naman ako lang. Hindi, it's a tool to enhance your relationship. Para lang siyang date night. Because you have to be intentional in prioritizing your relationship. Kasi tayo minsan nakakalimutan na natin yung isa't isa. But sex is a big part of our relationship. Because it's something that tayo lang dalawa yung makakagawa. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa mga tao that this was given to us as a gift to help our union with one another. Hindi siya pwedeng stagnant because that's also how you express your love for one another. That this is just us. Tayo lang makakagawa nito.
Can a relationship be successful kung hindi kayo sexually compatible?
Possible siya if you're both willing to learn and explore. Napag-aaralan siya For me, sex is about practice You get to learn each other. Kung sarado utak, mahirap na.
Malabo.
Mahirap.
So big factor talaga yung sex.
Yes.
Pang-ilan siya sa pinakamahalagang bagay sa relationship?
The top 2 reasons people separate is sex and money.
And most of the people who come to you, ito talaga madalas problema. Money and sex.
Money and sex.
I saw in one of your posts na habang ang lalaki nagiging successful, paano tumatabang ang sex life? Or nawawalan ng urge to do it? Paano yun?
Hindi tumatabang ang sex life. Tumatapang to explore others. The more powerful you are, the more open you are to temptation and risk. Kapag ganon, it's up to you as a person to know what your boundaries are.
Applicable din yun sa babae or no?
Oo naman. Mas magaling nga magtago ang babae.
Ay! Mas tumadami na ba ngayon yung mga babae na nagloloko?
It has always been the same.
Same numbers to, not just hindi...
Oo, it has always been 50-50.
Hindi mas maraming lalaki nagloloko.
Hindi.
Ito na boys, makinig na kayo pagtatanggol kayo ni Doc Rica. Explain mo yan. Kasi for the longest time, nasa utak ng lahat na mas cheater ang lalaki.
Kasi yun yung nire-report at saka sila yung nahuhuli.
Pero ang babae?
Hindi nahuhuli. Kasi mas magaling magtago ang babae. And ang delikado dito is when a woman starts considering another person and considering cheating on her husband or her partner, it means that there's something wrong with the relationship. It means that she's ready to leave. Yung mga lalaki kasi, kaya
Nag-cheat.
iniisip na mas madaming nag-cheat sa kanila kasi meron silang aspect na, hindi, sex lang to. I just wanna release.
Hindi
So,
katulad nating mga babae.
na may
Emotional tayo eh. Sila for the release lang. So pag ang babae ang nagloko, kabahan ka talaga.
Tapos usually, pwede nang maghiwalay. Kasi ayaw ko na sa'yo, hiwalayan na kita. For someone to cheat, it means that something is going on within the relationship. If they have questions, we also just launched the first of our new app, Una by Unprude. UNNA.
UNNA. Una by
Unprude.
Unprude.
You can download it Android and Apple. It's an relationships-trained AI.
So lahat ng questions nila about sex, love, and all that, lahat sasagutin mo.
Lahat sasagutin niya. And then if Una feels that you need professional help, we will refer you to professional help.
That is so
Yes.
nice.
And then we also have a community in the app where you can talk to peers or other people going through the same thing. Kasi a lot of people, nahihiya sila to talk to a person about
Kasi nga
sex and
tabu pa rin eh,
relationship.
true.
Oh. So with Una, mas nakaka-open up sila. Parang siyang ChatGPT pero hindi siya ChatGPT
Anong
kasi...
difference sa ChatGPT? Kasi si ChatGPT at si Gemini, alam nila lahat ng sagot sa tanong
Oo,
natin.
kasi they're generalists. Yun tawag. Parang
Okay.
meron silang pwedeng sabihin na hindi talaga totoo dahil tinitignan nila yung buong web, yung internet at yung mga sinasabi ng ibang tao, yung mga responses
But
ng
with
ibang tao.
Una,
With Una, we have a closed system. So, yung closed system niya, knowledge based ang tawag namin doon. Yung alam lang niya is scientifically based, culturally grounded
galing.
information. So, hindi siya kukuha sa kahit na anong website. It's really just what's going on with our
Wow.
culture.
Why Una? Why the name is Una?
It's the first step. It's the first step
Step.
for you to understand
Everything about sex.
everything about sex.
Galing.
Kasi mahihain nga tayo eh. So ayaw natin tanungin yung tao, 'di ba? Ibang tao. Mas gusto natin anonymous tayo.
Yung mga nagsasabi, yung mga in a relationship na matatagal na, let's say, sabihin na natin, more than 5 years, 7 years, or sometimes 10 or 20, pag tinanong, uy, kamusta sex life nyo? Tapos ang isasagot, okay naman, di na tulad ng dati, bihira na lang. Okay ba yun? Acceptable ba na sagot yun?
Oo naman.
Pwede
Kasi
na yun.
naman, pag sinabi mong hindi na tulad ng dati, yung mga naririnig ko, gusto nila yung teenager sila.
Yung
Hindi
ratsada.
kaya.
Nagbabago talaga. Oo.
Nagkakaroon tayo ng limitations. Kahit na anong exercise natin, alam naman natin na mas nahihirapan tayo gumalaw, hindi na tayo mas acrobatic, yung libido natin will also
Bumababa.
not be the same. We have responsibilities, madami tayong iba iniisip. And nung teenager tayo, wala man tayo ibang iniisip eh, sex lang at saka school, diba? Yung mga factors na yan, nakaka-apekto talaga.
But it doesn't mean na may nabago.
It doesn't mean na may nabago. Scientifically, our passion is like, parang tataas siya una, pataas siya, diba? Sobrang hayok kayo sa isa't isa pag bago pa lang.
Oo.
And that's what we call the limerence phase and the infatuation phase, right? But after 2 years, mawawala yon. And that's when you get to see each other as you are, yung differences nyo. Kaya madaming mga relationships na nag-end in 2 years. Kasi parang for them, anong nangyari? Bakit nag-iba na? Kasi wala na kayo dun
Sa climax.
sa phase na yon,
Oo.
in the limerence and infatuation phase. And after 2 years, that's the time that we call true intimacy. Because that's when you get to learn about each other. Now, the passion there, it goes down. And it's up to you to build it so that it goes up again. Pero pwede siyang umakyat. Ang sinasabi ko lang sa mga couples is, wag na natin gawing negative. Kasi bababa siya eh, di ba? And how do you maintain it? It's through really constant sexual encounters, yung pakikipaglandian nyo sa isa't isa. It's just keeping the passion there. It can go up, it can go down, it can go up, it can go down. Pero dapat alam natin kung kailan na siya nasa negative para magawa natin ng paraan. It's work. And I think a lot of couples have that misconception na it should be effortless.
Hindi.
Hindi. Kailangan intentional kayong dalawa na we're working on our intimacy together and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna buy unproved play gels. We're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna
Try on some toys.
try on some toys. We also have in the app parang questions for you to answer. Parang what are your fantasies? Parang to open up with one another. If you want to watch porn, then we'll watch porn together. Mga ganyan.
Let's talk about porn.
Mm.
Because I know someone na yung asawa is addicted to porn to the point na mas gusto na lang mag-porn kesa gawin nilang dalawa yon.
Okay.
What is your take on that?
I just want to clarify that porn addiction doesn't exist in our world. It's
Okay.
not a scientific clinical diagnosis. Makikita mo sa internet na porn addiction, ang nagpapalabas nun usually are groups who are against pornography.
Okay. And
Okay.
you're not against pornography?
No, kasi in sexology, porn is a tool. Porn is like
You both can
sex
use
toys.
it para,
Oo.
'di ba? Para yung
Siya.
pleasure, yung urge mas tuminde.
Ang definition ng porn is something made for arousal. So
Okay.
para lang siyang sex toy.
Parang toy nga.
Ngayon, kung tatanungin mo ako kung paano ginagawa yung porn at kung ano yung nakalagay sa porn, that's a different story altogether. Kung yung asawa niya is addicted to porn, I would say that the guy just wants to masturbate without her. Because I think it's more work if she's there. So the guy wants to masturbate. The guy wants to ejaculate, right?
Okay.
For the pleasure.
Okay.
But to be able to ejaculate and to masturbate, he needs porn to stimulate him.
Yes,
Diba?
yes,
As an
oo.
arousal, which is
Yes.
what porn is for. It's really for arousal. So he's using it properly. Right? And the fact that hindi na nakikipag-sex yung lalaki dun sa asawa niya, it's probably because nga more work makipag-sex dun sa asawa niya
Kesa pong manonood siya ng porn.
kesa
So hindi niya, in
mag-masturbate.
short, hindi niya na-enjoy yung sex niya sa asawa.
Mas may effort. So may problema dito. And
Kanino may problema?
din
I mean, sa asawa na addict sa porn or dun sa babae na
the relationship.
the relationship itself?
The
Okay, this is
relationship
not about
itself.
the problem with the guy or the girl. Talagang yung relasyon may problema.
Yes.
Na baka di lang nila nakikita, no?
I always say that when people come to me and they say, ako yung may problema eh. Hindi ikaw. It's the relationship.
Tama.
Kailangan natin malaman kung ano yung nangyayari dun sa relasyon nyo. Bakit ayaw mo na makipag-sex sa asawa mo? Bakit for you, mas convenient naman talaga na mag-masturbate mag-isa. Kasi minsan gusto mo lang 3 minutes, tapos na. Pero pag asawa mo, baka you want to, kailangan kasama siya dun sa pleasure mo.
Oo.
So, bakit ayaw mo siyang i-pleasure? Bakit ayaw mo yung intimacy with her? Yun yung tanong.
Kapag gano'n na yung problema, do they need a therapist for that?
I would suggest.
Oo.
So, yes, we also have that on the app. We have sexologists. So, I
Oo.
trained a lot of like
Kay Una.
sexologists
Oo.
in the country, even in the region,
Oo.
in Southeast Asia. For
But how would
people
you
to
know
talk
kapag
to.
kailangan nyo na ng tulong? Pag kailangan nyo na ng therapist or sexologist?
I would say, yung kapag nag-away na kayo na hindi nyo ma-repair. Pero sa totoo lang, ang aking suggestion is to have a therapist at hand for check-ins.
Hindi lang pag may problema.
Hindi lang
Ang
pag may
galing.
problema.
Tama.
Oo.
Tayo nga, di ba nga prevention is better than cure, sabi ng mga doktor. Same with this.
Kaya, when I started like doing sex therapy, nagkaroon ako ng mga kliyente na pupunta sa akin, maghiwalay na sila o naghiwalay na sila. So, mas mahirap. What's nice now is nakakita na ako ng mga couples na bago pa lang sila ikasal, pumupunta na sila sa akin.
I think for women, kami parang madali for us to admit na may problema or may mali eh. Pero yung ego ng lalaki, mahirap yun ha? Because I think most of the men parang ayaw pa rin na,
You'd be
Hindi.
surprised. Madami sa mga kliyente ko, lalaki. And I think it's also because of boys night out. Yeah.
"Oh, yeah.
So I was able to make them aware that, hey, you have a problem.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oo.
And then they started coming to me. And yun nga, parang they realized that they need help.
Oo.
Mas gusto nilang i-address to kaysa maghanap sila ng iba. Gusto nilang masatisfy yung asawa nila. They want to understand their wives. And I think that's pivotal in a relationship. Kapag yung lalaki yung gusto ng tulong.
Paano dun sa mga alam nilang may problema, pero ayaw nila? Kasi feeling nila nakakababa or nakakabawas ng pagkalalaki.
Ang suggestion ko doon ay maghanap sila ng medical doctor na lalaki. Yung mga urologist nila, kaya nilang kausapin yun eh. So,
Baka mas madali mag-open.
makatulong. Oo, baka makatulong. Pero kasi if it's a relational problem, kailangan ma-address yun through therapy. Kailangan ma-open yung pag-iisip nila na therapy doesn't diminish their masculinity.
What's your take on people paying someone for sex?
Sabihin lang natin na illegal dito sa Pilipinas yun, di ba?
Oo,
Ayan.
yes.
Para lang masabi natin illegal yun.
Oh,
but,
illegal
but
talaga
it's
sa Pinas.
rampant. Because of all the problems that we talked about. The repression,
Anong
the
deeper
not
reasons?
being able to talk to their partners. It has been part of our culture. Yung mga lalaki, lalo na dun sa provinces, di ba? Part of yung pagkalalaki nila is to hire a sex worker and get their first sexual encounter with the sex worker. It's very
Naging norm.
ingrained na kasi siya sa ating kultura.
Okay. Pero may deeper reasons ba kung bakit? Kasi ako like, sabi ko nga, kung single ka, gusto mo mag-hire ng someone, 'di ba? Nagawin to, parang wala akong nakikitang mali doon. Pero when you're in a relationship and you pay someone to do this with you, anong rason nun? Bakit? Yung ba
Usually,
yung sinasabi mo kanina, yung power and all that?
pwedeng power, pwedeng just as an escape, pwedeng yung sinabi ko rin about the porn na sa spahol,
Mas madali.
higa sila, tapos
Oo.
na. Iba-ibang motivation siya. Pwedeng it's just as simple as pleasure, as like a physiological release,
Yeah.
stress release, or it can be as deep as their masculinity, looking for power and looking for who they are as a man.
Eto, last few questions na lang, Doc Rica. Anong gusto mong maintindihan ng bawat nakikinig sa atin ngayon about sex? Yung hanggang ngayon, nahihirapan ka pa rin na ipaintindi sa kanila.
Kapag sinabi nating sex, hindi lang siya yung behavior. Hindi lang siya yung pagpasok ng ari sa isa't isa. It's not just the kissing. It's not just that. I say it that sex is part of your core as a person. If it's part of your core as a person, it means that it affects you, who you are as a being. It affects how you relate to other people, to your partner, and how you see other people in the whole world. So, malaking aspeto siya na kung sino ka dito sa mundong to. So, sana makita ng mga tao na pag sinabi nating sex, hindi siya bastos. Kasama siya ng pagkatao mo. At dahil kasama siya ng pagkatao mo, we have to treat it respectfully. Hindi dapat natin siya tinitingnan, ay bastos yan, ay masama yan, ay puro kalibugan. Ganon kasi yung sinasabi nila eh. Hindi eh. Dahil parte siya ng pagkatao mo, kailangan mo siyang kilalanin, kailangan mo siyang matutunan. And I think you have to befriend it and embrace it para mas maging disente kang tao sa sarili mo at sa iba.
What's the first step para ma-embrace ng nating lahat yan? Lalo pa in the society na nabuhay tayo, lumaki tayo na parang pag-sex ay mali.
The first step is acknowledging that there is shame and there is guilt around it. Once you acknowledge it, you have the power over it and you can reframe it. You can change it. Ganyan. Na acknowledging na, ay pinalaki kasi ako na ganito, bawal, ito yung sabi sa akin ng mga magulang ko. So, know your narratives. Paano ka ba natuto about sex? And then tingnan mo siya. Sulat mo kung gusto mo. Tingnan mo siya. And then tingnan mo kung ano yung mga gusto mong baguhin. Ano yung sa tingin mo is operating in shame and guilt na is controlling you as a person. And then hanapin mo kung saan mo makukuha yung agency mo na, ito, kaya ko tong baguhin. Kaya kong isipin na my worth is not tied to sex as a woman. Di ba? I am worthy or I deserve pleasure. My body is mine. And it should make me feel good. It shouldn't just serve anyone else.
Yeah. Well, I do hope one day magising tayo lahat na hindi na tayo nangingime to talk about what pleasurable for us and to talk about sex nang hindi tayo nahihiya na pag-usapan ito.
Para rin hindi na tayo binabastos ng mga kung sino-sinong tao publicly. So,
Hindi bastos pag-usapan about sex. Yun dapat ang mawala sa utak ng lahat. And we thank you for advocating it.
oh, thank
Sana
you
mas marami
for supporting.
Of course. Sana mas marami pang babuksan ng isip about it. Invite them once again sa Unprude and to your new podcast. Congratulations!
Oh, Thank you.
with Tony.
Yeah, so we have a new podcast, Under the Covers, with DJ Tony. So kaming dalawa ulit. Puro sex na naman to.
Lahat ng mga na-miss nyo sa Boys Night Out, eto na
Oo,
yon.
and The Sexy Minds. Kasi may podcast din kami nung pandemic, The Sexy Minds. So binalik lang namin with a different title, Under the Covers. You can listen to it on
It's on
Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. So just look for it. And then of course, download Una by Unprude, UNNA by Unprude. It's your first step to knowing your sexual self. And support Unprude. That's it.
Thank you so much for guesting today. Sobrang dami kong natutunan about sex.
Yes, and talk about sex, by the way. Just talk about it.
Yeah, talk about it confidently.
Yes.
Oo, lalo pa kung kagaya kay ni Doc Rica na sobra naman talagang daming i-share at i-impart na knowledge sa ating lahat about sex. I do hope to guest you again on the show.
Of
Thank you so
course,
much.
we still have to talk about porn.
Yan ang next topic
Yan.
natin. I-invite kita dyan. Pag-usapan natin na mas mahaba yon. Pero once again, mas nakilala natin ang gusto why she's an advocate of sex education. Once again, here on From the Heart, Doc Rica Cruz.